the greats, MJ 6, Kobe finished with 5. At this point, Bron didn't have any. He makes the move. Mm-hmm. Now it's like I'm in that conversation. Now you look at KD. KD leaves. Mm-hmm. Let me get in that conversation. Let me start knocking at that door. Like, you think that's what kind of where players got the idea of like, shit, if rings is what matters, yeah, I need to go.
No, that's what started everybody leaving. But it's a door. It's a fake door because those guys ain't in the door. They're in a whole nother door, right? And that's the problem. Like, oh, this is the GOAT door. Mm-hmm. Right, and like, okay, I want some rings, and you realize, hey, Michael Jordan ain't in here, y'all. he ain't in this door, y'all. He's somewhere else.
He's not gonna come back young.
He ain't in this door, right? And it's just one of those things where we're what we're as players, we're factoring in our numbers, right, our rings, and saying no, we should be able. I have leading title. I beat him in every stat. Why y'all not putting me in front of him? Mm-hmm. And the answer is he was the NBA, right? Magic and Bird held it, right? They held it. They made it exciting. Mm-hmm. You know, back when it started, you know, there was tape delay. You know, half them dudes was sniffed up, right?
Right.
They was hide in the mug back in the 80s, right? Even when you talk about the Jordan team, you know, he's talking age. When I walked in, they was all doing
cocaine.
Yeah, so when Bird and Magic was, you know, battling, and when Jordan came in, what they seen was a whole different animal, right? You're seeing something that is different, moves different, talks different, approaches the game different, swag, phenomenal, right? This is the best thing we've seen, right? I don't give a fuck what he does. This is the best player we've ever seen, right? It was the eye test, right? 88, 87, 88, like he literally went from the wings. They took the wings off. He got the logo. Yeah. They gave him a logo in 88. People don't realize that he got the logo in 88, right? They took the wings off and say, you got Jordan, right? So that whole campaign, and that is considered the greatest individual year anybody could have had. That's when he became the best player ever. There was no ring. There was no, rings is just what they get to use now. 6, it was just the way he did it. He carried what we have now, solo mission. It's hard to beat solo mission with stats. LeBron can win 6 rings right now.
But he won solo.
They're not giving it to him. Yeah. Right? You're not giving a dude who started this joint. Yeah. Right? It's just
it's tough to do.
It's tough. Yeah. Like, you know, so basically everybody just fighting for second.
Yeah. That's an interesting take right there.
But you're talking about 88, 89, right? They're saying he's the best player in the world who's ever played this game. You got somebody with 11 rings. They're like, oh, I did it against white folks, right? Then you have, you know, same thing with Wilt. No matter what it is, it wasn't against like 78 when it merged and you had the best in the world all in one building. That's when stats really mattered.
Yeah.
When everybody in the world is all together. Yeah. Right? Julius Erving, all of them, George Gervin. Yeah, now we're going to see. So when he came and like, oh, what's this? This is God right here. This him.
Yeah.
Right?
And everybody defends him too. Like, he was doing that while being hand checked. He was doing that while no D3. Like, he was doing that while, like, everybody has the defense for why he is the greatest of all time. Speaking of MJ, you talked about y'all being one of the last teams to beat a Michael Jordan team in that 95 year. Y'all went to the finals. He came out of retirement that season. So what was that like, the conversations knowing y'all playing against the Bulls, MJ coming out of retirement, y'all got Penny, Shaq, and this is the GOAT in MJ. What was that conversation like when y'all was playing against that Bulls
year,
team?
I mean, we were the number 1 seed in the East. So, and he had missed most of that year. You know, he was still playing baseball, hadn't come back from playing baseball or whatever yet. And so we felt with him or without him, you know, our record indicated we were exactly where we needed to be, number 1 seed in the East going into the playoffs. And so once we got to him, you know, obviously he came back and he started playing. He was wearing number 45. So it wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same,
right?
MJ, huh?
And his timing was a little off. He was a little more rusty. And I remember, and a lot of people may not know this, but within that series, I think after game 2, when we went to Chicago, it was maybe game 2 or game 3. We played the first 2 at home. Jordan changed his jersey back to number 23 because Nick Anderson, after we had won game 3 or game 4, whichever game it was, he said number 45 ain't what number 23 used to be.
Wow.
And then everybody was like,
wow,
you need to shut your ass up. Because he can, I mean, he wasn't far off, And so then when we got back to Chicago, he came out in number 23. And I don't even know if you could really do that.
Yeah.
Change numbers, because I know when you apply for a different number, you got to do it like the year before. To be able to do that. But he changed back to number 23. So when we came out, at first it was like, oh, shit.
That 23 just looked different. Like, oh, he Jordan again.
Yeah.
That's Jordan again. What was the league like? Like when it had to be a sigh of relief when y'all knew MJ was going to play baseball. It had to be like, all right, this shit is wide open now.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree. I mean, there were good teams. The Knicks were still good. The Pistons had Grant Hill, at that time. The Pacers were going to the Eastern Conference Finals. We had just beaten them. I think it was the year before to go to the finals. They had Reggie Miller and Rick Smits and Mark Jackson, all the guys that they had. So it was still competitive, but yeah, there was definitely a feeling that, it's anybody's title to be taken. Now, on the other side, the team to deal with was the Rockets with Olajuwon, which we had beat them twice during that year soundly, handily. And but mid-season, they made a trade, and they traded Otis Thorpe and somebody for Clyde Drexler. So we went into that finals very, very confident that we were going to beat the Rockets and win that championship, and it didn't end up happening that way. Once we got there, but it definitely felt like because the Rockets won back-to-back 94 and 95.
Yeah,
but on the Eastern Conference side, with Jordan out, it definitely felt like it was up for grabs. Yeah.
And then the following season, they win 72 games. As a team, did you guys know you were facing kind of a different animal? And then looking at that 72 win Bulls season, if you were going to stack that team up against those three-peat Lakers and let's say the Warriors with KD, where would you rank that Bulls team across those three? So
the worst thing that we did after winning that series against them and that knocked them out was Horace Grant had a real good series against them. And we won that last game in Chicago. And we hoisted Horace Grant up on our shoulders and carried him off the court. And Jordan saw that. So that was his motivation all through the offseason to get back to that point again. I think they felt like they knew they were going to see us again because we were young. Mm-hmm. And so when it got to that next year, the Eastern Conference Finals once again, and it's us and the Bulls. And I think this time they had home court. They had Rodman. They had added Rodman to their team that year. Then we knew that it was going to be, we were facing a different Jordan. He wasn't rusty, and they ended up sweeping us.
So obviously, you spoke about the relationship with MJ, and you got a call from Tim Grover that MJ actually wanted to meet you. What was that moment like? Because I got a chance to meet MJ, and it was a surreal moment. Like, it was, again, as being around Kobe and seeing him, in person, seeing MJ was even more magical. It was, for me, in basketball, it's a basketball god. It was surreal to me. What was that moment like for you when it happened?
My dad had told me, like, during the draft, he's like, man, MJ like you. I'm like, what? Hey, Dad, you don't know Jordan. Like, what are you talking about? You don't know Jordan. So he tells me in Tim Grover, I'm in Chicago, and he's like, yo, MJ said you can meet him. I'm like, well, it's 6 a.m. I'm like, what? Man, I took off down there so fast. I got downtown in probably 30 minutes. I get there like 6:30, whatever it was, 6:20. And I walk in, it's just us three in the weight room, and I can't stop looking at him. And obviously it's just us three, but I'm not even talking because I don't want to ruin his workout. he's talking in between sets or whatever. And he's like, yeah, man, I've liked your game. He's like, this summer we could work out. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Game's out. I call everybody back home. I leave at like 7. It's 5 o'clock on the West Coast, so nobody's up. I go back to practice, tell all of them I just met Jordan. And it was crazy. So the summer comes, and now this is what I've never told. So I'm going to tell you guys. The summer comes, everybody talks about how we were on the same team. Actually, the first day I played against him, and my team won. And he was pissed. Like, he went and sat in the corner. He was pissed. Then after that, Grover calls me. They were playing at 2. And you know, young player, you got to work out your team first. So I'm up working out with the Bulls, and I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, get down here. I'm like, I thought we weren't starting until 2. He's like, man, get down here. MJ's not starting the game till you get here. He's waiting on you. I'm like, oh shit, all right. Mm-hmm. So from that moment on, we never lost for 2 straight summers, bro. Like, Beyonce, Jay-Z's there. We're playing against Penny. We're playing against Stephon Marbury. We're playing against Paul Pierce. Like, everybody's
loaded.
It was the UCLA runs in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like the Space Jam runs that he was doing to come back in Chicago. So I saw everybody. Matter of fact, even Charles Barkley came because he was thinking about coming back at that time with MJ.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck was there.
What's your role? What's your role during that type of game? I gotta ask. Like, you got Michael Jordan on your team now, like, and you like to score. So are you like, you know, just giving it to him and watching him do his thing? Like, what was it like? When was it your time to score? How did that dynamic work? Just an open run between you.
That's a great question, Dallas, because I came in as a point and I'm playing with Jordan. So I really, and it's so weird. There's probably 2 or 3 times in my life where I felt my game like jump up like a level or 2. And that was one of those times. And I was playing off of him. He's the guy, but I literally, I don't know for a fact, but it felt like I hit 80% of my shots off of him that summer. Like, I felt my game going to a whole nother level, and it was making its way around the thing. Like, man, that little Bulls guard, because I hadn't done shit yet. So like, man, that Bulls guard can go. I'm telling you, that Bulls guard can go. But I'm playing off of him, right? And so I remember one time I threw a full court. I'm like, oh, as soon as I let it go, I'm like, oh shit, I threw that too far. Man, this man at 40 years old, he jumped up with one hand.
Yeah.
He dribbled the ball and dunked with one hand. I was like, oh shit. Like, it looked like some Bulls. I'm like, oh, This is crazy.
I read that, like, you drew a lot of inspiration from MJ Wizard era.
Yeah.
Just watching those highlights.
Yep.
What did you gain, and why was that so important for you to watch him in those moments?
If you sit and just watch Wizards Jordan and see how incredible he was from 38 to 40 years old, the way he scored the ball, the way he was able to create his shots from the post, from the elbow, off one dribble, off 2 dribbles, stop, pull up, how physical he was in the post, how he was able to create contact and still get to the basket. He wasn't athletic like he was, but still being able to, you know, finish over guys. It was so incredible because it was such a master of art, how simple he just made the game. It's just playing off jab steps, pump fakes. And I used to watch every bit of Wizards Jordan because it was like, if he doing this at this age, let me figure out how to master these things that he doing, because you don't see everybody doing it. Everybody want to do the dribble, double step back, all that. And it's like, nah, let me make the game simple and kill these spots and angles and using my body on the fadeaways, either shoulder. So that's one like thing that I took from Wizards Mike, because he was incredible. If you really watch him, he was incredible, man.
Yeah.
On a bad knee.
Right. At 40 years old.
It's crazy. I don't know if you guys that you say that, because I just saw a clip of Rasheed Wallace. He basically was saying
he said that he was better.
He was better. Michael Jordan was better with the Wizards than he was with the Bulls. And everyone was giving him like a bunch. I mean, obviously he wasn't as athletic, all those things. But to your point, had to play a different game. Did you see that clip?
I ain't see that clip.
See, and I've been saying this for the last couple years.
That's a crazy statement.
Yeah.
It is. But I get what you're saying.
I got what he was saying with that, but because he was just, if you just go back and watch Mike with the Wizards, he was cold. He was cold.
On Michael Jordan's last game versus the Clippers in LA.
Did you?
You saw it?
Pops took me as a little kid. I have a picture. It's
you remember
great.
it?
Yep.
That's dope.
Me and Billy.
That's dope.
Yeah. Good memories.
We followed you through North Carolina. You go ahead and play for the Tar Heels. You actually played for the Bobcats, being in your, not necessarily hometown, but from North Carolina. Your first 5 years of your career there, you got a chance to play with or play for MJ, and obviously you developed the relationship, you being a Tar Heel, him being a Tar Heel. Did y'all have a relationship going into the process, you going to Charlotte? Was that the reason they brought you to Charlotte, because of the relationship you already had with MJ? Talk to us a little bit about how that relationship, but also how was he as an owner during that time with you being there?
MJ as an owner is just how he is as a player, man. He was super competitive. He hated to lose. And he came in the locker room many times and told us how he felt. How he felt about how we was playing. And the one moment I'm gonna take from that, man, was it was me, him, Jeff McGinnis, Joe Wallace, and I want to say Jimmy Rich, but Jimmy Rich might not have been there. But I know it was me, Drill, and Jeff McGinnis. We played 1-on-1 against MJ. And when I tell you he was frying us.
Still had it, huh?
Man, he was frying us, bro. And was talking crazy to us too, man. But him as an owner, though, I mean, like I said, though, he a lot of people give him dirt about being an owner, but a lot of people don't understand, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. You're taking a chance and drafting kids and, signing people to free agency, and, you just don't know how things going to pan out. You just, you base it on their talent. You base it on what you feel like the potential can be. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think he just gets a lot of scrutiny from that. And I mean, obviously he ain't gonna live up to being anything else in life outside of being the man who he is. And in a game of basketball, he's the GOAT. And especially for me, he's the GOAT. So, he can't, anything he do ain't gonna live up to that. But, and just people always got a lot of negativity to say when it comes to him as a basketball owner.
Right. Speaking of these games, right? He had to have walked away with some L's, right? Like he wasn't just winning.
I mean, he scored on them, but he won the game.
Okay. Well, he was winning. So he was winning the games.
Yeah, he was winning. He was winning. From what I remember, somebody else may tell a different story, but no, from what I remember, we lost.
Okay.
Was he doing like the same moves, or like was this like a different MJ, or did it look just like MJ?
I'm sure he wasn't moving much more than 2 dribbles.
Same post up, fade away,
faking.
Anything you want, he still was doing it. And that age just crazy.
Kept making y'all jump up.
Calling fouls, probably. Like,
listen, man.
Come on, young fella.
He did whatever he wanted to do.
That's MJ, baby.
That's crazy, bro. I couldn't even imagine getting a 1 session with MJ, dog. Like that should be dope.
You gotta let us know what you got signed. What you have him autographed. Come on. I know you got some signed from MJ.
Oh, now
a jersey, yeah, for sure.
Okay, make it show.
Tar Heels
make it show.
Bobcat, I'm sure Ray got a crazy collection.